Death is unavoidable. It will come to all of us eventually. However, some continue to engage in behaviors that result in their ultimate demise sooner rather than later. Chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, or COPD for short, is one of the most widespread chronic lung diseases that causes suffering and a diminished quality of life. Smoking is one of the top risk factors. 50% of smokers will develop COPD, and over 400,000 U.S. citizens die every year due to smoking related illnesses. That is why the cessation of smoking is the most important way to improve our way of life. Yet, many people diagnosed with COPD continue to smoke. I know one lifelong family member who continues to smoke despite his constant bouts of bronchitis and an inability to walk to his mailbox without getting short of breath. He was selfless enough to go fight for our country in Korea and work as a truck driver day after day to support his family. Yet, he is not strong enough to stop smoking even though he has full knowledge of its harmful effects, even though he continues to deteriorate with every puff he takes. This man is my grandfather, Robert Rappa. Since I was little, he told myself and others some stories about his life in the army while stationed in Korea. The U.S. government used to send soldiers care packages that included cigarettes along with other items from home. His days as a truck driver were long and exhausting, and he would pass his time by smoking cigarettes while on the road. Back in his day, smoking cigarettes was cheap, legal, and socially acceptable. It was seen regularly on the big screen and was glamorized by famous celebrities such as James Dean and Humphrey Bogart. But I think that his reasons for not quitting run deeper than this. He is a very proud and also stubborn man. Demands made by other people for him to quit just reinforce his desire to remain independent and be his own man. Now, at 76 years old, he continues to try and retain a sense of his old self in a body that is no longer young and strong. Perhaps he lacks some internal motivation to stop because the damage has already been done. He will never again be able to run up the stairs or carry a basket of laundry without becoming fatigued. He will never again be able to sleep through the night without being tethered to an oxygen machine. Although he may not be strong enough to help himself, his behavior has helped me. His path has led him to where he is today. Unfortunately, breathing is no longer something he takes for granted. It makes me realize the choices I make today will have a lasting effect on who I am tomorrow. I also realize how impressionable people are. If the government was sending cigarettes to soldiers, then why would these young men think twice about the damages that smoking could cause? If Hollywood glamorized it, then it must be worth trying. American norms are very much influenced by pop culture. I think that there has been a huge shift since the 1950s. What was cheap, legal, and socially acceptable has now become expensive, age-restricted, and turned into a taboo by today's standards. I am not the only one who has a loved one with a chronic lung condition. My grandfather's choices have not only affected his health, but those of his loved ones. Everyone in his family feels the effects of his illness. People think that they're the only hurting themselves when they engage in self-destructive behaviors. I'm here to tell you, everyone who loves that person is affected.